So, welcome to our second blog post. Bring your best self to leadership. Last week we talked about leadership being an art. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about leadership as an art, meaning there is no if this happens then do this for working with people and leading. An art is more abstract and needs understanding of the canvas and the various tools that you have available. We'll look at the different tools you need in your leadership utility belt. Many people feel they're born with all that's needed to lead, but most of us are not. But the good news is we can learn, as long as we want to learn and practice. So today we'll look and talk about leadership being the art of two. We've all heard the saying, too much, too little, too late. There's always a best way to address a person or action, but there is no perfect way that works all the time. What works for one does not always work for others. What works for one does not always work for others. The leader and the person she leads each have their own characteristics that influence which tool to use in which situation. So what is too much direction? We know that as micromanagement. What's too little direction? We know that by disengagement, non-supportive, and uninvolved behaviors. While no one wants to work for a micromanager for long, don't completely ignore the need to offer specifics, stand close by, and monitor for progress. There's a time and a place for this. It isn't every day for everyone on the team, but there is a time. For example, we all have preferences when we are gathering information about a new situation, a new project, a team member's capabilities. Some of us prefer a lot of detail, specifically detail related to our five senses: touch, smell, hear, see, and taste. At work, what would be more useful to us is what we hear and see, of course. We also enjoy historical data when that's available. There are others of us to get the big picture right away. Where does this new information fit with what we already know? What does our gut tell us? Both of these add value to the process, and most likely we can do both. We just prefer one more than the other, and that one becomes our default or our preference, particularly when we're under stress or in a hurry. When we're under stress, our mind isn't open to learning new things, so we tend to revert to those things that we prefer or already know, and sometimes very powerfully revert. So if you're someone that prefers detail, you may err on the side of too much detail. You may share too many details or require too many details before making a decision. This reliance on detail gets more pronounced when under stress. That's part of the art of two. What is too much detail? What's too little detail? What's just enough? If you're more of a bigger picture fact gatherer and get the details later, that works too. We need both. But there may be times when you're too big picture and don't have enough details to make the best decision. Again, what is too much big picture and too much detail? That's where self-awareness comes in. I would argue that self-awareness is where your development as a leader begins. What are your preferences, your biases, and your expectations? Don't use this self-awareness as validation that you are right or that you are who you are, or to become someone that you're not. Always stay authentic. But once you're aware of your preferences, default actions, and styles, you can better learn the art of two for your style and apply that art to your interactions with others. So next in our series, Bring Your Best Self to Leadership, we're going to look at self-awareness and how it can affect your leadership and those that you lead. Thank you.